this lecture we are going to learn about a design pattern that is known as the observer pattern. So observer pattern is a kind of publish and subscribe pattern. Okay, so it's a kind of publisher subscriber method where there is a publisher. Okay, so you have a publisher. So that publisher has some data. Okay, it has some data which might change. Okay, so it has some state, some information which keeps on changing. So you can take for example a weather department is there, okay, which maintains some information about your temperature, your pressure and humidity. So now this is the publisher. The weather department will be your publisher and there will be your subscribers. So let's say the newspapers, news channels, weather.com, a lot of them are the subscribers to your publisher, that the weather department, and it has the temperature and pressure and let's say humidity. So these are the three things that this publisher has got. So these are the three information that the weather department has got. And now the observers, so this is the publisher and there are subscribers. So this is the next term. So this is the observable. We also call the publisher as observable, and subscribers who want to subscribe to this data as observers. Okay, so this is another term, observer, and that's why the name pattern, observer pattern. So the subscribers, they subscribe to the publisher or the observable and they try to get the temperature, pressure and humidity, all the information basically that the observable class has. And whenever there is a change in that temperature, pressure, etc., that information or state that is maintained by the publisher, they want to be notified. Okay, so it's kind of a push mechanism where whenever some data changes, all the subscribers, they will be notified. Okay, so let's say the temperature is now 25 degrees Celsius and then in the evening it changes to 20 degree. Okay, so then they all will be notified that your temperature has changed. Okay, so this is the basic idea. Okay, that your observers basically observe the data that is maintained by the observable class, and whenever the state of that data changes, okay, so state or the value of that data changes, the publisher class notifies it to all the observers. So this means that we should have some classes. Okay, so we should have some classes, and Java provides us with the two classes in the java.lang, java.util.observable class, and the another one is java.util.observer class. So observer class and observable class. So these are the two classes that Java provides you, and let's now see one example. So our example is very simple. So we have our publisher which maintains name and the price of one item. Okay, so it maintains the name and price of item, and okay, whenever the price changes or even in fact the name changes for some arbitrary product, then the observers will be notified. Okay, so that's the idea. So now let's see at the class. So our first class is of course the publisher class. So this is the publisher class, and now let's try to see. So what we need to do, so for that we need to have observable class. So we have a class observable and we need to derive from this class. So what does this? So we have this observable class, java.util.observable. This has all the data, the publisher class. So you have to extend from this observable class, and then you have to have your data. So this is the data part that I'm maintaining, and whenever there is a change in these data, so I will inform all my observer. Okay, so I will inform all my observers that okay, so the data has changed, so you come forward. So what will happen? Now we have this is the constructor. So we create the publisher class and we have get name and get price for this one. But the thing is, in observer, what should happen when we are setting, whenever there is a change in these two attributes, so what should we do? We should inform all the observers. So this basically tells that this observer class should have a list of observers. Okay, so this is very important. So it should have a list of all the observers. It can be an array or a list, whatever way you maintain. So this observer class should have a list of observers, and whenever we are setting the data items and if there is a change, so what we need to do, we need to notify the observers. So it provides a notify observers spelling, so observers. Okay, observers, notify observers. And in that, what will happen, so it should notify all the observers. So here we see that when we are setting the name, we are changing the name. So first thing is we set changed. Okay, so it means that we have changed something, so you should now notify the observers. Okay, so notify the observers the name. Okay, so we are notifying the observers the, okay, so we are notifying the name. So name is what we will see, that it's the, basically we are changing the name, so we are notifying this. Okay, so we are notifying the name. And then let's move forward. So this is the set name, and when the name changes, we are notifying it. And then there is a set price. So if your price changes, then again, first thing is there is kind of a boolean variable there in your class observable, which says if it is changed, so you need to set that change to be true. Now we have changed the value, and then we notify the observer. So let's think a little bit about the internals of that class. So whenever we are notifying, we set changed. So we make set change as, make it true, and then notify observers. So they, after notifying all the observers, they make this one as false. So this is the boolean variable, and notify observers, so we give the values. Okay, and inside that notify method, so what will be happening is that it will be calling for all observers. So for all the observers O, it will somehow notify them, and for notification, what they do, the observer class should have some update method. So it will call o dot update. So o dot update method will be called for all the objects, and they will update in their classes the value of the data they are trying to see. So this update happens, and now let's try to see our classes, the subscribers. So here we have two subscribers, the name subscriber, so this one subscribes to the name, and price subscriber. So let's look at here. So this price subscriber, so now it implements observer. Observer is an interface. Okay, so interface, so it has got one method that it has to implement, that is update method. Okay, so update method, that is, it needs to be whenever it needs to implement this method. Okay, so update, so it has got one observable class. Okay, so from which class you are observing, and then the object. Okay, so what you are getting. Okay, so this is there. So now let's try to see this code. So this is the update method, which will be called in the notify. Okay, so this method is called in the notify, in that the things are updated for this object. And now what happens, in this argument we passed, like in the name or sometimes the price, so it's now checking is the argument an instance of float. So if the price is changing, so it will print price. Okay, so price is changing, and it will say that, okay, price of the observer, it is in the price observer, and price has changed to the new price. Okay, so this prints it out. Okay, that something has changed, so it prints out. Now otherwise, if that is not the thing that has changed, so price observer, we'll say something other has changed. Okay, so something other might be the name, or if you have more data, they have changed. So similarly, let's look at the name subscriber. So here, in fact, the code I have not written well, so let's see. So name subscriber, so here what happens, here again it has the update method. Okay, so update method you have, so if the update method, so from the observable class, it has got one argument in that update method, and if it is a string instance, so it prints out the name has changed, otherwise it says something else has changed. So this is the thing that is happening. So both the observers, the name observer and the price observers, they are looking for some changes in their respective data, and when it is changed, they print that out. So now we need to have a test class to print that out. So let's see that. So we have observer pattern test class. So we make a publisher. Okay, so it has something very different. Okay, so let's make something. So there is a publisher, we give it some name, corn pops. Okay, and then its price we have given, and then we have 1.29, that's the price. Okay, so name subscriber is there, we make, and one price observer. Okay, or the subscriber, we make two observers we have made. And now this, whenever publisher changes its name, then what will happen, these two will be updated. So now what we do, we add observers for our publisher. So initially publisher has no observers, so we add the observer, name observer and the price observer. Then we set the price to be Frosted Flakes, then we set the price to be different, again we set make changes in price, and then the name. So we should, these two classes should get updated. So let's try to run this. So observer pattern, if you run, so let's try to see the code. So first what happened, we made one concrete subject, created corn pops at 1.29. so this is somewhere getting called in the price subscriber when it is called. So one, it is made, so price is 0 and price subscriber. Okay, so no, it's not the price publisher. So in the publisher, when we set the name and price, so it says concrete subject created with the name. So here concrete subject created, so this is the constructor of the publisher class is called. Okay, and then let's turn now to the test class again. Name subscriber we create, so name observer created and price observer created. So now they are not with the added to the observable class, so they have name is null, price is null. Now what happens is that we add, so we add them here, add in the observer, add observer, name observer and price observer. So now what happens, Frosted Flakes, so when we are changing, so what happens when we change, so this code goes to the publisher and name is changed. So what will happen, notify, it will call all the notify observers and it will all the names, so it will name will change and this will be notified. So notify, how it will happen, so notify method in turn will call the update method of both the subscribers. So name change will call the name subscriber, so here its update method will be called, and you see it will get that object argument also. Okay, so now what will happen, if it's an instance of string, so it is changing, so price observer says that okay, some other state has changed, and name observer says name changed to Frosted Flakes. Okay, similarly what will happen, so name change to, so this is the update method that is called in the notify observers. So now we have observer pattern, again we go to publisher and observer pattern, so we change, let's say again the set price 9.22, so price observer says that price changed, but the name observer will say that okay, something other has changed. Okay, so this is the basic idea. So just to summarize, we will see what was happening here. So we have observers, one is the observable class, So one is the observable class, others are observers. Okay, observers. And then what happens, this is a one to many relation. There might be many observer, 1 2 3 4 till n observers will be there. This class has some data, many data can be there, and now what happens, these observers subscribe so that if there is a change in any data, so they will be notified. So there is a notify method, so which kind of runs a for loop for all observers. It calls o dot update, and in that update method what happens, in that update method they will update whatever changes are there, and this is the method of the observer. Then what happens is some other things are there, that okay, so you need to add subscriber. Okay, so add observer method is there in the observable class, so that a list of observers are there. You can also remove some observers. If I'm not interested in your data, you are bombarding with my data, you are bored with my data, then you can ask me to unsubscribe. That happens in your emails, and also unsubscribe to observable class, add subscribe to the observable class, and then there are notify method. Okay, so these are the main basic important idea about the observable pattern, and this is used quite a lot wherever you have any dynamic data that is changing and you want to be updated about that. So I hope you understand this. Thanks a lot.